Hello and welcome to our first episode of The Warp Report, the 40K themed podcast from South Korea. I am here joined with my co-hosts, Luke and Rock.
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
Hey guys. So, we are all surviving this world panorama, as it were, and so we're here to talk about who are we and what is 40 Korea, our 40K Korea community out here in the wonderful land of South Korea. So, as far as the Warp Report goes, a couple of us got together one day and said, hey, we're kind of bored. Do you want to do a podcast? And Luke just kind of got roped in with my ideas.
And here we are now.
Yeah. So the big thing...
We're trying to make the most out of our beautiful situation, which is the delightful Corona pandemic, where we cannot get out of our house. And it's a beautiful day of September, previous of the Chuseok, which is the Thanksgiving for Korea. And we're going to be probably heading to some more lockdown. So, yep.
Yeah.
Let's see how can we mix 40K and a little bit of podcast in the middle.
Yeah. And here we're talking about, 40 Korea, our origins, how we got started, and how we got involved.
Right. So the whole thing of 40 Korea. So before you know, you can check our information. You can find us in some chat groups. We have this chat room which is in Kakao. We originally started exactly a year ago. Our anniversary just happened, I think, last week in August. It was started by a local, basically leader, if you want to post it, or host for most of the games at the moment, an organizer of tournaments and future organizer of tournaments as well, Mr. Su. And again, we started on Facebook. We're like 4 people in a chat group. Orcs, Marines, Death Guard, and more Marines. And now we're over, after a couple of months, we started growing, and I think now we'll reach a total of 70 people, if I'm not wrong.
We're at 80 as of today.
Okay, yeah.
But the deep sigh, dude.
Yeah.
We're all over the Korea. We're not just, we're divided in the different regions. We have, of course, Seoul, the city, which is the best. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold punches. I mean, and then they have Incheon, which is the other area, with Sue and most of the other players are also hosted. And then we have people in Pyeongtaek, we have people in Busan, we have people in all over the Korea that is also joining the community, but also playing against each other.
We go everywhere.
Basically, at the moment, we're running a league across Korea that is reaching the climax. But it was when we did it, it was only 2 regions, basically. But then it just grew into more, and now we are covering a lot of area. So overall, the community started pretty small. Now it's going big. But of course, as soon as the community started to kick off, Corona started to get heavier again. And we went from having small events between 4 to 6 people tops when it was possible, and we are back to square one, where we can just barely meet the basic safety standards to not having issues. And when we can, we play. And what else? Yep, that's pretty much it. What it was at the beginning now, and it's such a big thing. And as the 40K Korea thing regarding to Sue, the aim or the objective or the goal of this community is not only connect with us, but also be, let's say, a bridge between the expat community, because in this case, for most of the people in the community are expat. Expats, for some wording in English, is foreigners who are living in Korea. And very recently we started having more Korean players. For example, here, Mr. Rock, who's joining us today, is one of them who joined us a few months ago. But we're trying to slowly make bridge the gap between these two sides of the communities, so we can start making more events in the future and, play together.
Right. And a big issue definitely is the language barrier, because while a number of us do speak Korean, even those of us who speak Korean, it's not always good enough to, play with people whose native language is Korean, because what we use in our daily lives is often different from what, most of us expats have learned. That's the issue I'm having right now, man. I can function But the moment you ask me to start having a normal conversation, I'm done. I'm out.
I try to talk with Rock, and the thing is, like, the thing we learn is not something you use in normal conversation. I go from hello, where is bathroom? Yeah, do you know the birth rates are going low? So things like the topics become so complex and so fast that you have no idea how to pick up the conversations.
It gets awkward also. Sometimes.
And so, and so does in 40K, though I have to say that it should be a little bit more neutral in 40K. Yeah. Because after all, the rules are in English. Most of the rules are in English. There's I don't think there's a translation of the codex in Korean.
Not that much.
Not that I'm aware of.
It's just that, like, some of the context just needs to be explained in English because it's just originated from English. And some of the words that exist in Korea just like gets like molded into the English versions. For example, like cult mechanicus is like what I found out, we called it like Kigegyo or something like that. Kigegyo. Yeah.
So you have like the English, the Korean English basically would be, because there is a lot of words that you borrow from English.
Oh yeah. So some literally just translated. Like, it's kind of weird also. Like, Nick sometimes asked me to translate like some of the things, like English to Korean. And I have to look for certain context when it comes to like certain like 40K terms. Like, for example, like Cult Mechanicus, I already explained that. Sisters of Battle, like apparently some people they just no, they don't say that. They just call it.
Don't say Battle Nunes, no.
They just call them sisters, and that's it. Like, for casual term or something like that.
That would be nice, though.
I mean, some people do. Some people do.
We call it sisters in English.
Okay, I'm officially calling Battle Nunes now.
I would totally root for that also. Like,
I'm in. Yeah. But how did you guys, like, so I really want to talk about how we all ended up here, like, in this community. Because we're at 80 now. I was around 23, I think I was saying, whenever I joined, which I have not been in Korea very long. It's only been about 7 months for me. And so the fact that I'm speaking in any Korean, like, conversationally, I'm very, very proud of myself. But I literally was moving here and I said, I need to find something to do because I can't go to, bars or anything here because they're all closed. So I'm like, I need to find a hobby. I'm like, well, I like Warhammer. I had just the year before, right before the pandemic started, I got back into Warhammer. Story, I was a 7th edition Necron player. Had a terrible community, left, and I didn't play for years. And then I decided one year, I had some extra cash. I said, I'm going to start Warhammer. And bought $500 in models. Don't do what I did. Nice. I bought a 2,000 point army. Yeah, don't be me. But
go big or go home.
It was January, so I bought 2 of the old Battle Force boxes of Blood Angels. And then, like Mephiston and some other things. Which I'm like, okay, I get to building it. I get them all built. And I'm like, I'll be playing with Gray. But I had a great shop. And it's like, okay, I can play with Gray. As I finish my last model, it is the beginning of March 2020. Whole country shuts down. In America. Whole state shuts down. So I am literally stuck with this army. I can't play. And then 9th edition comes out. And I barely got to play 8th edition. 9th edition comes out, and I have to play Blood Angels at the beginning, which felt great. But as I'm moving to Korea, I'm like, I really like Warhammer. That'll be a good thing, because I know there's a Warhammer store here. And I went on Facebook. Found a group.
For supplying us with the thing we love and regret.
Yes.
The regrets.
I found it on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, this is based out of Daegu, which is in like the middle of the country, and I'm in the northern part. I'm like, this sucks. And then I look through the posts, and lo and behold, our fearless leader posted, "Hey, does anyone have books? I'm looking for them in Songdo." And I'm like, "Wait, I'm near there." And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, well, and here we are now.
Yeah. It's been a crazy couple of months, but
So basically, Among Us, you are the oldest player, I think.
Among Us.
Among Us, praise us. That's very sus for you.
technically, yes. Yeah, I'm the longest standing player out of the three of us.
Yeah, among the three of us, yes.
Yeah.
Mostly because I started playing Warhammer on August last year. Exactly at the beginning of when this whole thing started, I started playing Warhammer. A big shout out to Justin that I casually met by pure chance when I went to watch a game at a local club. We ended up talking, we ended up chilling, we ended up playing together, and he did something that I am very grateful. At the same time, I'm like, oh god, what I have got myself into. He gave me a full box of Dark Imperium. The full box of Space Marines and Death Guard. And I said, okay, let's start playing. So I was trying to start with Space Marines, but since we're a small community, everyone's playing Marines. And I wanted to do something different, so we got more variety. So I said, okay, let's try Death Guard. I used to follow Warhammer story in the back, the lore, before playing, but I come from Argentina, South America. Warhammer is not just only an expensive hobby, it's basically impossible to have because Games Workshop doesn't exist there. Customs, a much complicated topic. Basically, this is a hobby, but it's also a premium hobby to some extent because, it demands a lot of investment. I never had a chance to do this at all. I never had a chance to do this kind of thing. And I said, okay, why not? I mean, it's Corona. I just graduated. I'm trying to get some job working. And anxieties and such, I need to, something to keep my stress off. And lo and behold, I ended up painting my Marines. And as soon as I got settled here in Korea, we worked a notch. I ended up just going too deep into one of the armies, which is Death Guard. And now I started with only one army, now I have three. 2,000 points, and I am both proud and ashamed that I got this far. And literally right now, as I speak, I am airbrushing a Space Marine because I'm doing the Ultramarines that I never finished because I started doing that card. I'm doing it right now. So that's my case. But I think Rock is the latest one.
How'd you find us, Rock?
Well, my story goes a bit short compared to all of y'all. In my case, I think I started like around 3 to 4 months ago. Yeah, somewhere around during that time. So the way I started is I actually was looking for a certain like Warhammer English group to be exact because I had to find some social bonding for my brother for him to just hang out outside because he's just like staying at home like most of the time. And I found this Kakao Talk group, 40K English group, and I was like, okay, this seems. There seems to be an English group around here or something like that. So I went to the chat room and I said like, hey y'all, like, do you guys play games or something like that? And lo and behold, everyone's like freaking like spamming and everything. Like
we don't like, play games, we live the games.
Yeah. We are the game.
We are the games. So I was like, okay, that's good. Like apparently there's a game like happening around like a week or so. Like around like usually around the weekends.
You are very dedicated, man. I sometimes I play only for like once a week or once every 2 weeks. You just go every weekend. Boom, 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 boom.
Rock and I think play the most. We're some of the most active players in the country. I one time played 2 to 3 games every single weekend for 3 months straight.
Like how I ended up playing, I have no idea. I just like brought my brother to a freaking match and I saw them play. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. And Benny, one of the member, he suggested me to play. And like I was like hesitant for a moment, then I like looked around like what kind of armies there are or something like that, and I just heard of Death Guard from like one of the member, like I heard Death Guard and I looked it up. Like apparently they're like one of the toughest army to kill like resilient, disgustingly resilient
The
apparently.
best army, yes, I agree. I agree.
And then, like, I look up Death Guard. It's like, oh, they actually do have the same aesthetics as the Infested Marines from StarCraft 2, which I love them. Like, when it comes to aesthetic wise, like organic, metallic, like those two things, like joining and bonding together.
They also have this medieval vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Which I love them. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm building Death Guard, and I just bought like few models. Like, I think I bought like the starter set for the Death Guard.
And Imperium?
No, not the latest one. The latest one with the titles in it.
The patrol box.
Yeah, the patrol box. I bought one, and I started buying more things, like the PVC and like the other things, and I ended up having more than 2K lists now, like 2K point lists.
I'm gonna make you all sound sane right now. My smallest army is my smallest army. I think I have about 4,000 points in models.
Like, this is not a competition. Okay.
No, I'm gonna make you guys seem sane. I think I have between my 3 armies, we figured it out one day. It's something like 15,000 points, which is not big, but definitely one of the fact I've only been here building for about 7 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I remember there was a time that you had more armies than months in Korea.
Yes, there was a time where I matched. I was here for 3 months, and I had just started my 3rd army. Technically, I didn't count it because I had started the army years ago in America with Necrons. But yeah,
Necrons.
If it's in your backlog, it counts.
Something I really enjoyed though is whenever we used to play our tournaments, which. Funny enough, Luke and I have been at several tournaments together, and because we are always we're always near each other in the standings, we never get each other because we're always next to each other in the standings.
Hey, I know you've been dodging me. I know at least one time you intentionally dodged me.
Oh, one of them I did intentionally dodge you.
So you intentionally dodged me.
Soul versus Enchant I did because Blood Angels really hurt into Death Guard because they stopped the charge abilities. Rock, do you want to tell the story of the first time we played, or should I?
Oh God!
So
Jesus.
I think I'll do this justice. So
okay.
You do it, Rocky. Yeah.
Okay, you can tell it, but I just want to say one thing before you start.
No. I want to listen to your story, your version. I already listened to Nick's. I want to listen to yours.
Why don't we listen to yours, and then I'll tell my story, my version of the story.
So I had this great idea, like. I've been told, like, by most of people, like, you should actually try to go to the tournament. I was like, one game for me takes like around like 6 hours or 5 hours to play. Are you sure about this? And they were like all telling me, yeah, just go for it. Just try. Yeah, just do it. And I just did. And funny enough, actually, I never got timed out for some reason. I was actually shocked.
Isn't this a tournament you play against me?
Yeah, first
game is Luke. Second game is me.
Death Guard against Death Guard. I was like, well.
That game was agonizing to watch.
I had the chance to go first. That's why I managed to get ahead. That's the only.
Yeah, actually, it's actually fun, and it's actually a great chance for me to learn like a lot of things. So I picked up a lot of things from that game.
I remember that. Oh, I'm gonna do this combo, and then the next in your turn, I'm gonna do the same thing you just did. Oh, that doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, but
it's just like the reverse Uno card. But like, I did lose.
Let's get to the more interesting match, which is round 2.
Oh God, the round 2. So I fought against I forgot if it was James or someone. Yeah, I think it was James. Like I was against Space Wolves.
Right, I was playing Nids at that time.
Yeah, and it was like a landslide win for the Death Guard because one thing for sure, I did learn a lot of things from when I was fighting against Luke. So I was using all that thing.
That's good.
Yeah, against the Space Wolves, dude.
Learn, adapt, overcome.
And it's a charging army. You destroy any army that relies on the charge. You destroy it.
And of course there's that also. Death Guard is just like a heavy melee army at the same time. They're just like really freaking hard to kill. Oh, it's actually a fun game for me, but not for James.
And then
No.
so what happens after you build this confidence high after 2 good games?
Oh
What
my
happens after
God.
you build this confidence high?
So I face against demons, and just like that, lamb to slaughter. That's all I can say.
So let me embellish what happened. Let me regale to you what happens here. I'm running Slaanesh demons. It's my first day running them. I had beat the sisters, gotten slaughtered by Tyranids because he shot me before I could get to him, and I am just furious after this game because I hate losing. Luke knows I'm a very, very passionate player. I'm not angry, but I very much get into my games. I love playing.
I'm
Anyone who
actually
plays me knows.
surprised that you didn't build Corn Army, okay?
Yeah, everyone knows how much I love my melee combat and how passionate I get into my games. Well, the Death Guard says, "Oh, we're gonna castle," and I'm like, "Great." The horror of the T1 charge was born that day, and
Okay.
people have talked about this to this day. This was months ago.
You don't castle.
My Slaanesh army can advance and charge. So with a keepers that had 14-inch movement, anywhere from 14 to 19-inch movement that game, that could advance, and that's base, advanced and charged on him. I believe so I get this wide-eyed, local player who's like, man, I want to try playing in a tournament for my first time. And the final score was 100-36. He didn't leave his deployment zone.
I can't leave. It's a turn 1 charge.
4 Keepers of Secrets. He lined up his Demon Prince. And I put my character hunter, Shalaxi Hellbane, if you look up her stats. If she rolls a 6 to wound, it's a flat 6 damage. I got 3 against him, which even with Death Guard ability, flat 15 wounds that he couldn't save.
Yeah.
Or that he failed the info save. Failed.
What good is -1 damage, right?
I think I put 16
Don't
wounds.
say that. Don't say that, Rock. So if someone listens to you, he will start complaining. So.
Oh yeah.
I think I put
Okay,
15,
fine,
I put 15 wounds down on that Demon Prince that had like 8. I think I put like 15 wounds down on him. But yeah, the thing was Fiends. He realized very quickly, oh wait, my Plague Marines actually get 1 shot by Keepers because all their weapons are damage 3. And they are AP 3. So he has a 6-up armor save. And they are just getting... Yeah, and he can't retreat because I have Fiends in there. So none of his stuff can leave to get, try and get away from my Keepers. It was a very entertaining game for me.
Yeah, but I think, and I did learn from that day that deployment really do matter.
You learn those things when in these events. When I was playing Soulslist for the first time, I did a training, and I left like the tiniest gap, and then he just walked up to the tiniest gap, and he just ate through my army. I was like, oh.
Yeah. The problem with
mistakes were made.
The problem with playing Sue is that he knows your armory better than you do. He's just so knowledgeable of the game. He's almost impossible to beat. I would say like the advantage I definitely have of living here on this end of the country is, I would say out of the top 3 players in our group, I have 2 of them down the street. So that's why my win-loss record looks pretty horrible sometimes, is because I play the two of the best players again and again and again and again.
The thing with Sue that he plays really well. I'm not denying that, but the army he plays is really anti-meta. Is really against because all the armies are kind of elite, and his army is designed basically to eat elite armies. So a single mistake, it just spirals down. So if you want, and the thing is that you cannot tailor made a list to beat him, because that's not the purpose. Because you're gonna face something else, you're gonna get stumped. But that's the thing. You need to know how to pull it.
Right.
With the list I've been using for those, for example, games, I had no chance to come back at all. So it was just me trying to score as much as I could. But he's really good at punishing you for any mistake.
Right. It's the same reason my demons are winning, pretty well right now, is demons are absolute elite hunters. Like because my elites my HQs are stronger than yours. Mine are also 250 points apiece. But, you know, I have monster elite units that just mow through anything they touch.
Nom, nom, nom.
But, yeah, exactly. They just eat. My Chaos Undivided list just eats through stuff. But the issue is, so does his Tyrannid list. But his Tyrannid list is ranged, and I have only melee because I'm playing demons. I'm stuck in melee combat. I can deny his psychic powers, but he will and I can take on his Democarians, but he will absolutely mow me off the board with. He brings a Biotitan against me, but like Hive Guard.
Yeah, Titan or the High Guard.
But like the Hive Guard just mow me off the field because I can't get to him in time.
No, there's no way to get it. I've been there. I suffered through that. There is no counter.
I can just imagine the fear and the horror. That's transpiring.
I just count myself in the top. If I can count myself in the top 6 in the country, or in our group, not in the country, but the top 6 in our group, I call that a good day. I just overcommit. You know.
To army place.
Yeah, exactly. I just overcommit everything. But yeah, Rock, I really want to hear what you have been working on because you're probably our most prolific converter.
Converter.
Yeah, you're a sculptor in the group.
Your conversions are sick. Yes, you are.
You do more than all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that is actually surprising.
So if you can put the kind of imagery now, I can show you a photo of he made the Demon Prince out of Gaskull, the model of Gaskull, Traka. And it's beautiful.
That's the Demon Prince I bonked in the previous story.
Damn you.
That's
I'll have my revenge.
That's the prince I smite to smithereens.
Yeah.
Last time.
It has its moment. I'm not gonna lie.
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
My Slanesh sending it to my Slanesh list, sending him straight to Horny Jail with the holy bonk. But yeah,
what are you working on?
What have you been working on?
Well, right now, so I did start with the Demon Prince. I'm actually trying to make one of the great demons as like a converter, as a converted model. So the concept of it is similar with my Demon Prince. So it's like Death Guard lords in power armor, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So the one I did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make one for Bellicor. I don't know how I'm gonna summon him, but yeah, and one for the Great Unclean One also. So 2 of them is. So I'm actually working I'm actually working on the Great Unclean One right now. And as for the Bellicor power armor, still waiting for some of the parts to arrive so I can like make it happen.
Nice.
Yeah, and one more thing that I'm thinking right now is I'm trying to convert the mythic blight haulers to like one of the like infested structure, like infested bunker. Like similar concept with StarCraft 2, but it's like moving.
Oh, that's cool.
Similar concept to that, but it's gonna be mythic haulers.
Have you checked the Hammerfall bunker from the Space Marines? You can work on that.
Yeah, I think I can use that.
You can use that as a base.
That actually would be a really good one, yeah.
It will be. It's a really good model in the sense of for that kind of stuff, and it already comes with weaponry, so you can like. Because I know what you're talking about infested. I really like I want to say Tychus from StarCraft. I was playing Heroes of the Storm, and he has the skin of infested.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Also, note to anyone who's listening to this, StarCraft is a copy of Warhammer.
It originally was, yep, but they lost the licensing rights.
Shots fired.
Actually, no, that was Warcraft. That was Warcraft. Lost the licensing rights.
We're calling out Korea's national sport, which is StarCraft 2.
Look it up. But
yeah, but to be fair, Warhammer did come out first.
Yes.
So I mean, like, I would look at it in a different view, like just a different taste of like of the sci-fi fantasy.
No, of course.
It's all Dune to me.
That's what I want to say. Basically, we have like Dune is Warhammer, StarCraft is Warhammer. So basically, it's kind of a whole thing. So what else are you working besides these project you're talking about, this bunker, this infested
Right now, just purely Death Guard right now. But I am actually thinking of other armies to build if it's possible. But yeah, it's gotta be really costly.
I'm gonna quote someone. You should play a different army, Rock. That's what I was gonna quote.
Do it.
Ah,
Hey, I'm doing
Maybe.
it. Okay? I'm doing it.
maybe. Well, I'll think about it. But I do have an army in mind. To be fair, like a guard list.
Oh, so
Like-
that's why it's gonna be expensive. You need
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
gonna
of
be a
models.
lot. It's gonna be expensive. So once I start working again, maybe I can try to build for that. And yeah, maybe Krieg.
Bro, if you're gonna do
Ooh,
that,
Shovel Boys.
if you're gonna do that, get an airbrush. It will save your life.
Indeed.
I am regular brush gang, so
That's why I have become known as a absolute fiend with painting, is because
you
I
paint
can
too much.
airbrush models so fast, but also I have more time than most, so I chew out models probably one of the pretty fast. So
Just table standard. It goes.
yeah, if I do parade ready, those models take me about a week.
Oh no, yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
I've been, speaking of parade ready, I'm actually working on my airbrush Magnus, where I'm seeing how much of the model can I do with only airbrush.
Oh my god. Airbrush
So far-
would save a lot of time.
So far, I have his wings almost done. They need a little bit of green ink, and then they'll be done. His body is done. I'm working on his weapon, and his armor is done because I'm not using the chest armor. I'm only using his leg armor. But yeah, and then I got to work on his face. So
Good
it's
luck
so
with that.
far, I've been able to do enough effects with my airbrush that I have not had to touch a paintbrush yet. We're gonna see how far we can get this to go. I will have to grab one eventually, but I'm really curious, how far can I go before I have to grab a brush, which, in the words of a great movie, no one knows just how far I'll go.
Well, that's where I'm at it. I am working on Space Marines. Because originally my plan was to play Ultramarines, but back in the day when the community was only 4 people, they had Raven Guard, Scorpions, and Ultramarines. Like, yeah, and only Orcs. So like, yeah, we have 4 people, 3 guys of the same faction. I should play something, evil. You're gonna put it away. So we can have like a proper flavorful game. That's why I started doing Death Guard. But now there's a lot of variety, and after playing Death Guard for so long, I'm not saying it became stale. It just, I've been testing. I've done so many lists and so many tests that I need something different. That's why I already built and painted 2,000 points of Custodes. And now I'm painting 2,000 points of Ultramarines, but the Ultramarines feels a little more personal project because unlike the other guys, I would say they customize everything. At least the most units I enjoy the most. I've been, thanks to our local 3D printer dealer, Anthony, who's been kind enough to help me with printing some stuff. I printed a lot of bits that are very similar to Roman and Greek. So basically, the Ultramarines, in case you don't know, which probably you do because everybody knows and love and hate the Ultramarines, are very Romanesque, the Roman Empire. But I like the whole Roman vibe, but I also like the Greek vibe. So I'm doing a mix of both Roman and ancient Greece kind of vibe with my army. So I'm working on that.
We have a
And
great
right now,
yeah.
it's basically I'm trying to do like separate units, like the Vanguard vets, which are supposed to be the more hardcore seasoned veterans, are actually Spartans. That's why the way I'm building them. And the guys that are supposed to be tough and stay in formation and be very hold the line are classically known, for example, for the Romans, the legionnaires. So the Vanguard veterans have the legionnaire vibe. So I'm trying to put some flavor in my elite units to make it look different, but it takes so much time. I don't have much time. And I've been working on these Vanguard bets for so long that I feel guilty that they're there half painted. Like, oh my god, I only did the base colors. I haven't done any of the highlighting. I haven't done any of the washes. I'm like, this is gonna take a lot of time.
It does take a lot of time. I gotta agree with that.
I'm looking at like 10 models there that are loaded with details. I'm like, oh god, please no. But yeah, at least I know how to blow off some steam whenever I come from work. Now that I have these things on the works. But yeah, that's pretty much on my side. And lastly, I need to finish some stuff from the Curse City that I also have pending. I mean, everything is finished, but I just need to, improve it because I did just the basis for a lot of this.
Yeah. I'm chewing through my Curse City, but I'm glad we have our community because it makes it great for modifying because it makes everyone's army look very, very unique. So even if you're facing the same army, no one's armies look the same, which I really love.
Agree. Everything is distinctive.
Yeah, which I like being I like being special, so that's why I have my demons. I'm the only one
special.
I like being my special self.
Yeah, my mom says I'm special too.
I have a Bellicor on the way, and I cannot wait to get him because that is going to be my dry brushing monster. If you watch the official GW video, dude is just like entirely dry brushed. You just paint him black and then dry brush him in varying degrees of gray.
So basically 50 shades of dry brush?
50 shades of gray dry brush, yeah. I'm going to destroy my dry brushes. I'm going to need a new set for this project.
Oh, come on. My dry brushes are just makeup brushes for $1 in Dyson, man.
No, that's exactly what I'm doing. Mine are just destroyed. I need new ones.
Those things are a lifesaver, man.
But yeah, that's why I have those. I just got some brush soap, which I cleaned off the gunk off my actual detail brushes.
Yeah. I need that, actually. I need that, actually.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff. I really, I didn't think my stuff was that dirty until I cleaned it, and I'm like, oh, that's what the sable looks like.
So this is what the brush is supposed to look.
Yeah, they went from like a blackish color to brown to like a light brown. No. I'm like, oh. But yeah, lately though, we've had some conversations about codex creep and the new codexes, which we are getting. Orcs just went on pre-order this weekend. They just went up today.
The Orcs looks wacky, but it fits them. But
yeah, it does.
I don't think they. I mean, I haven't played the new one yet, but knowing the playstyle of the Orcs, I don't think it's as oppressive as other armies. Because overall, I mean, at least for the way I play, I like melee, and that's the thing. That's what the Orcs do. They go to melee. But although there are some units that I just was watching Aspect Tactics the other day, and the war boss on this Quickstar thing, he looks like
that thing hurts.
That thing that looks like you're not gonna have fun.
Yeah, you're not gonna have fun. Guess that.
You want to know what's awful? You want to know what's awful?
Yeah.
What? The new snake bites, or the Beast Boys, Beast Snagas. You want to know what they get bonuses to wound against?
I'm sorry, demons?
Monsters. You know what most of my important demon units are?
Oh no.
Monsters. Oh, no. It is terrible sometimes. Luckily,
note to self, do not play Demon Prince against Orcs.
I can. What I can do is I can just sit back my KFC Lord, my Lord of Change, Lord of Chicken, and I can just mortal wound spam from a building because he can't get up. If I stand on something, he can't get up there.
If he can make it there, yeah. You're going to have to put him in a very weird way. So
I just find it really funny when it comes to rulings. Like, so basically, if you can't climb up to that building, you can't fight them. It's like, what?
But, I mean,
I can charge it.
Technically, you can charge from the bottom, but it's complicated depending on the terrain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, though, it's like, great, you can fight my Lord of Change. He is the weakest greater demon in melee. He is still a greater demon, though. Like, it's still going to be an AP 3 damage hit. It's just going to be fewer of them. But yeah, it's I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying seeing what's coming out of the Thousand Suns Codex, where the Cabal points, you can not only guarantee that your psychic power goes off, you can mess with your opponent's psychic phase, which I'm loving because
I haven't checked any of that.
Yeah, I was talking to some of our players, and basically you can stop people from casting or make them cast on one die, or, you can stop them from denying an ability for Cabal points. You can literally say, no, you don't get to deny me.
No.
So it's really cool now that there's counterplay to the psychic phase. Because against a lot of armies, like demons are a very psyker-heavy army, so they were running rampant with psychic phase, just mortal wounding things. Now, I recognize it's because I just counter the meta well right now for our locals. But our AdMech player, who I play probably every other weekend, we play 2 or 3 games together. He bought Grey Knights, and the entire community is blaming me for that right now.
What happened?
Yeah, because
Grey Knights are anti-demon.
Oh, really?
They have a bunch of anti-demon abilities and stratagems that literally say they only work. It's like, if it's a demon, you get XYZ.
I mean, to be fair, in lore-wise, I guess Grey Knights are demon hunters. If you think about it.
They've always been demon hunters, but now that they're good demon hunters, it hurts a little bit more.
They have a lot of gimmicks now that are very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, for the Thousand Sun also, hold on.
Thanks, Nick. Sorry.
Wait, should I say it or?
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Like, I did find like a very funny gimmick. Like, apparently you can use some like the psychic things in non-psychic space. Like, if you target something to shoot like one of your guys, for the Thousand Suns, if you're getting shot at, you can actually cast something to teleport away, so you will not be shot at or something.
The Grey
Yes,
Knights.
it's a strategy.
If you aim at it, you can teleport. Yeah.
Oh, it's Grey Knight. Oh, okay. I thought it was Thousand Suns.
It's the Grey Knight relic, the teleporting dreadnought.
Yeah. It's not just a unit is teleporting. A giant robot basically is teleporting out of sight, and that's what I was laughing at. That
my favorite, yeah.
Nothing personal, kid. And teleports behind you. Nothing personal.
The Dread Knight teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid. I'm so glad. Like, I was a little disappointed that we didn't get really any model updates for the Grey Knights. I get why, but I'm a little disappointed still.
Okay.
The only model that the only silver lining in this is the fact that the Dread Knights didn't change. They're still baby carriers, and I'm so happy. They are still baby carriers, yes. I am so happy.
So improvements, still keeping their like gameplay wise or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a new gameplay. I wish we had gotten the Retributor squads and the Purifiers. I wish those had gotten updated. But, it makes sense with the lore, so beggars can't be choosers. Thousand Suns looked pretty good, so they didn't really need a look update. They already look pretty nice.
Models, man. They have like only 2 models, and everything else is just Age of Sigmar. Hey, this works in Age of Sigmar. Here's our 40K A4 sheet with rules for them. That's what Thousand Suns was, man.
They did get new models, right? New box, to be exact.
They got a new combat patrol, and each army got a new model.
Only
for the
one
Grey Knights, Castellan Crow got updated. And for the Thousand Suns, they got the Infernal Master, who works really well, apparently, with, like, Zangors. So if you want a Zangor spam.
Yeah, but if you compare it, Rock, to Death Guard on the release, we got, like, a full setup. We have the full...
Yeah.
Although I like old Plague Marines a little bit better. That's amazing, though. That's completely a stylistic choice. The new ones look sick.
Speaking of meta, since... Well, we're doing the Warhammer League, and right now, most of the league is over. We're reaching the climax. So today was the game of the semifinals the quarterfinals, or what's the playoffs? I don't know what to say. So we had Drukhari against Deathwatch. Drukhari won, and I got to fight Dark Eldar in the future to see if I can make it to the final. And I was slightly terrified because I play against Drukhari, but that doesn't mean that doesn't make it any less scary. They're scary. And
They are pretty scary.
And I've been, because not saying I've been bored, but I've been playing that guy in the same way for a while now. I just wanted to try something new. But against this, no, I have to play safe. If I want to win, I want to win because I want to face Sue at the end, because I have a grudge rematch against his monstrosities after that game in the tournament. I want to fight and see if I can beat him, but I need to beat Drukari, the Keldar first. So yeah, that is happening soon. So I'm gonna be testing stuff. Hopefully next week.
Lady.
We can hope everyone has a grudge match against Sue though, so get in line.
Oh my god. I actually played against Sue. One game though. I played against his knights. Oh, that's terrifying, dude.
His knights are cool.
Oh yeah, cool. But if you're on the other side, like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he
What is
doesn't
that?
want to.
Oh, I have a bazillion guns.
He doesn't want to play against my Be'lakor because we found out that I can make Be'lakor fight 3 times in 1 turn.
How do you do that? What the
So if he's already, we have to assume he's already in combat with something.
Oh, okay. So you have to be in combat.
You hit him with the Slanesh power, Hysterical Frenzy. You can fight in the Psychic phase. And then you fight normally. And then there's a Demon Stratagem for 3 CP where a Khorne unit can fight again.
Oh, Jesus.
And so therefore, if you had the models stacked up close enough to each other, we did the math. He could bring down like 3 of the small knights. The little I forget what they're called, but the little Warhound ones, like the little ones.
The little knights. We'll call them little knights.
He can bring down 3 in 1 turn, because they don't get an armor save against him, because he ignores their invo, and it's a 4 up. It's a AP 4 versus a 3 up. But we figured out also he could probably kill a Castellan in 1 round. On average, he can do 30 wounds if he doesn't have a bad rolling day. He can do 20 to 30 wounds on average. So he could almost bring down a Castellan knight. At the very least, he brackets it so heavily it can't punch back with 1 round of combat. So if you can get this thing to fight twice, he brings down a Castellan in 1 turn, no problem.
Yeah, like I said, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
If
360 point beat stick. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's pretty much for it, right?
Yeah,
that's
been all. Thank you for listening to us. If you made it this far,
Thank you.
I've been Nick with the boys, Luke and Rock.
Heyo.
And we will see you next week.
God bless.